On September 11, 2001, at around 8:46 a.m., something disaster happened in New York City that day. An airplane that flew into one of the Twin Towers. Those were the tallest structure of the World Trade Center in New York City. One of the planes have crashed into the Twin Tower. It was the North Tower, though. And all the people in the plane were killed in that tower. It appeared that all the planes then in the USA have been hijacked. All the planes have a lot of speed and keep their flights constantly, though, and some get if they're controlling the plane or took over the plane with a temper of terrorism, though, a scare of this where people get very afraid for that, though, with all the planes can get hijacked for this. But then 20 minutes later, a second plane flew into the other tower. An attack, both Twin Towers have been hit by both airplanes, and they've both been hijacked, and then it's not very happy for that, though. Hijacks of planes have been very disastrous, though, and the people saw it, and they're afraid in tears, and they're screaming in pain, and they are afraid of the disaster of the collision of the plane crashes in New York City. And a huge fire of flames that spread over the city of both Twin Towers, though, between the North and the South Tower, though. But then shortly after that, there was another plane crash, and this time it was at the Pentagon. The Pentagon is the headquarters of the U.S. Soil of Defense. Even though it had a big, massive crack hole, and it was not that bad, though, in that time, though. Even though it was a bit smaller, though, it repaired it just 1 year later. But then back in New York, things called major happened, though. Just before 10 o'clock, though, the South Tower of the World Trade Center collapsed, and debris flew everywhere throughout New York City. Good thing for everybody, though. They got out the tower before it fell down, but firefighters and other people inside there trying to escape were being trapped and got killed. And unfortunately, though, it was a good day, though. Trying to get escape from this tower before it collapsed, though, means it would be a sad day, though, for some people, though. And people were covered with debris and sand and dust as well. And they get coffee and get cold, indeed. And get sick as well, and get dust in their eyes and their mouth and in the nose. When the South Tower collapsed, though, another plane crashed in an empty field in Central Pennsylvania. None of the people survived that plane attack, though. That hijack killed everybody on plane, so the pilots and crew. It was not very good, though, back then in that one in Pennsylvania, though. And then at 10:28 a.m., though, the North Tower collapsed. Hundreds of people have lost their lives during that collapse of this. All in total, though, 3,000 people lost their lives that day, though, or actually nearly 3,000 of them nearly lose their lives. And New York was completely destroyed because of the Twin Tower collapse of the World Trade Center, though. It was the U.S. worst attack still happened since the bombing of Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, when Japan defeated and exploded the Pearl Harbor in 1941 during the Second World War. It was not a disappointing day that would be, though. It was a scary moment that New York was completely destroyed for that. A man named Osama bin Laden was responsible to 9/11, though, but he thought he could be completely control about this. He was found and he was killed a year later on during that attack to 9/11. Islam is one of the world's major religions. But right by that then, there were 1.5 Muslims in countries all over around the globe. But some of them were reporting to this, like Muslims and many more, that were not responsible to Al-Qaeda. Even though it did anything to keep the order crossing, Al-Qaeda had more provinces it has, Even though it had a lot of good properties, Islam had a lot of good properties for the future ahead. But the main goal for Al-Qaeda is to make more credit that are permanently Islamic. Response to USA, though, who thought that might happen, though. President George W. Bush was the sitting president, though, and he saw what happened to the rabbi in New York City, though, and said about everything he knew about what happened that day, though, it was completely not fine for Al-Qaeda. But for the other countries like India, though, was not responsible to the 9/11 attacks, though, and not part of Al-Qaeda or Muslim indeed. Muslim has got a lot of company, though, for Jewish and many more people like Muslims as well. Even though Islam is not very great, though, but not Muslim. Islam is a very good place where all the people used to go for just 1 year. I think that might be for that, though, or Mecca. But anyway, 1 year later, though, the Pentagon was fully completed, though, around 2002. And a few years later, after that, though, like 10 years later, though, the fountains of the World Trade Center used to be was now become a good museum place now, where they have this lovely fountain with lovely trees and a lovely good place to go exploring, though, to this place, though, and put all the people there as a memorial funeral places to miss their lives, to forgotten, who they credit lost for their people and their kids and their personalities. And by 2012, the new World Trade Center became the tallest building in New York City, and it's still open there today. And it was opened for the first time on November 3rd, 2014, and it was a tragic moment that it is indeed. The new hopefully this one will not fall like what happened to the Twin Towers, though, but it was the saddest day in New York City history. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video then, guys. I've been James, and you've been watching this video then, guys. So thanks for watching for this video then, guys, and please watch some more videos though, and watch this video if you haven't watched it yourself. The last part in the video then, guys. If you enjoyed it then, guys, please subscribe if you saw it then, guys, and subscribe to my channel if you're new then, guys. But please don't talk about 9/11 a lot then, indeed. It's very scary then, super scary for some people though. But it's very good to see how this one goes. But okay, I want to say a thank you for watching this, and I will pay a very good tribute though to these people though who sadly lost their lives during that 9/11 attack, and they will not be, and it won't be going on forever indeed. The memories for the people, and the tragic thing, yes, and I will pay the respects to these people though who lost their lives during that attack.